Good afternoon, everybody. I go by the name of Truck Shorty. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to do another video like I always do. It's always off the top of my head, real organic. As I always say, I'm not big about, YouTube or anything like that. So that's why I'm not on here as much as I should be. But my boxes always have a bunch of questions and, new topics or something come up that I need to discuss. Or I get a ton of, messages on Instagram. I'm way more active on Instagram. But today we're going to discuss peak season pretty much. Peak season is what we all been waiting on. If you've been watching any of my videos, as you see, that's all I've been talking about for the last 2, 3, 4 months. This will actually be my first year of peak season. For y'all that didn't know, I started January 26th of this year right here. So this is actually my first peak season. I'm super excited. Never heard about peak season, but never got a chance to participate in peak season. So this is my first peak season. What I've started noticing about peak season is the loads started picking up Black Friday, of course, common sense. Black Friday, you go online, people order a lot of packages and stuff like that. Amazon have to deliver that freight. So that's when I started noticing a rise in my loads. And before I get into all of that, if you're new to my channel, like I said, my channel is always organic. Not a lot of, I'm not big on YouTube. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, back to business. With that being said, like I said, this is my first year going through peak season. So with that being said, let's say, for example, I noticed a pickup in my loads starting in Friday, actually after Black Friday. My average load, let's say about 520, 530, 550 before Black Friday. Now my average loads is about $800 per load. And I have some loads that I'm gonna share with y'all some details about peak season. But peak season, it's pretty much everywhere. I don't know if y'all don't follow me on Instagram, but I post a lot more on Instagram. I'm more active I'm on there every day. Sometimes you have like a quick question. I don't answer a lot of people's questions for free all day because time is money. However, I do, show a lot of information on my Instagram. Whereas YouTube, I'm pretty much posting 1 or 2 videos a month. So if you really want to follow me to the top, as you know, my slogan says, see you at the top. Follow me on Instagram. Also, I have a new Facebook, private Facebook group. You can follow me on it as well. But let's get back to business about peak season. Peak season, like I said, started, I would say, in some places early on, like in Philly, the Midwest, they already started seeing, bigger loads or higher paying loads than in Atlanta. But let me show you what the loads I was able to book. My first load, I don't know if y'all can see this, but if you go to my Instagram, you can see, but I'm just gonna basically talk about it. My first load that I booked, which is the highest paying load so far that I booked this year, is basically 218 miles. It's paying 13, 10, 17. It's basically $6 a mile. That's one load right there. That's ridiculous. So let me go to another one. So I have another load. And basically, by the way, I got 5 trucks right now on the road. So I got 5 trucks running every night right now, scaled down from 8 to 5, to 4 now, back to 5. So let me give you another thing. So 226, 1201, $5.40 a mile. That was a load I had actually last night. Another load was basically paying 813.77, and that load was 202 miles. Another load was paying for 193 miles. This load was paying $4.80 a mile, and is $929.20. Another load, I had this load last night as well. This load was paid $1,000, and it was paying $4.51 a mile. Another load was 215, and it was paying $809.21. It was paying $3.75 a mile. Another load was paying $1,100. This one was paying $5.82 a mile. Had another one, 210, paying $812.93. So pretty much all my loads, if you just look, this is another one, 202, paying $4.15. So actually since Black Friday, pretty much all my loads has been $800 and above, 800 to 1,000, 1,200. on average. So basically about 850 on average. And some of them I've seen on the load board, and some of them I've been catching with poster trucks. A lot of people ask me, how do I book my loads? Of course, I use both. I use a poster truck don't hit, then I go look at the early load board. And of course, like I always, tell y'all 100 times, that early access, you get to see the loads before everybody else. That's the best way to book if you're not using poster truck. I love poster truck. I use poster truck majority, I would say 95% of the time. I love poster truck. It allows me to have run the kind of business that I'm trying to run right now. So let's get back to the business. Oh, and one other thing real quick, let me make a disclaimer because y'all probably won't watch the whole video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make the disclaimer now. If you follow me on IG, my real IG page is at Truck Shorty. That's all it is. There's no underscores or anything like that. A couple days ago, I had somebody create a fake page trying to scam all, my followers and stuff like that. So just pay attention. I only got one page. It's Truck Shorty, no underscore. Truck Shorty. I'm on Truck Shorty on TikTok, Truck Shorty on Facebook, I'm Truck Shorty on Twitter, I'm Truck Shorty. If you go to my website, boxtruckshorty.com. So, and you can pretty much reach me anywhere through my email, boxtruckshorty@gmail.com. So don't let nobody trick y'all or, scam y'all out no money. Well, I just want to go ahead and say that real quick. All right. So like I said, let's get back to peak season. So peak season, a lot of people ask me, well, how long is peak season? Peak season starts from Black Friday and it goes to about the middle of January. Maybe like 2 weeks into January, because people still buying stuff at the end of the year. Basically, like every business, has a slow season, a mid season, a peak season. Same thing with logistics, same thing with Amazon. So when people order all that stuff for Christmas, then even after Christmas, when everything go on sale and people are returning stuff have to go back, it's still peak season up until that point. So I would say we got a good, what's the date? December 1st, you got a good 6 weeks to really clean up. You can make a killing in these next 6 weeks with Amazon. Like you could probably make more money in this month than you do in probably 2 or 3 months. It depends on how many trucks you have. Like I said, I got 5 trucks right now, and I'm about to try to pick up like maybe 1 or 2 more trucks next week. So with that being said, a lot of my box heads, I call them box heads, they have questions. I get a ton of emails, a ton of DMs in my messages, and I try to go through the most frequently asked questions ones, and that's why I usually make my videos, about. One of them is, how much time does my logistics company take up on a daily basis? Like I said in my previous video, there's 2 kind of ways you can run a company. You can have it as you can be self-employed, which is nothing wrong with that. That means you're driving your truck, you're booking your own loads, you're hitting the road. You might have 1 truck, you might own the truck, you might rent the truck. It's up to you. However, the strategy that I do, my formula is, I'm looking at it more of a business, more as I don't want to physically have to be doing all the work to get paid, if that makes sense. I might not make as much because I have to pay a driver to drive my trucks. However, that's the way I decided to run my company. So on a day-to-day basis, your mind might be blown away about how much time does it take to run this logistics company. It don't even take, I wouldn't say 30 minutes a day. And that's crazy. To run a company and have a successful company and you don't even spend 30 minutes a day is crazy. So let me break it down to you, like what my day looks like. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is about 9 something. I check to see if all my trucks made it to their destination, which it is, unless every now and then, a truck will break down. Like I had a truck breakdown last week, Saturday, at Amazon, to be honest with you. But we got it fixed, got him in another truck. He was able to deliver the loads. That's cool, that's good. So basically, in a nutshell, I wake up, make sure all my loads are delivered. All my loads are delivered. The next thing I do is I set my poster truck for that day, for later on that night for my load. So I would set 5 poster trucks at 9 o'clock in the morning. Usually in the area I'm in Atlanta, my poster trucks usually hit between 1 and 2 o'clock in the daytime. So during 1 or 2 o'clock in the daytime, when my poster trucks hit, my drivers would normally sleep because they drove the night before. So usually when my drivers wake up 3, 4, 5 o'clock, whatever time they wake up, they give me a thumbs up. They give me a thumbs up, I know they received the load. Now most of my loads in Atlanta leave at about between 11 and 1 o'clock in the morning. So my driver, usually if the route leaves at 11:30, by 10:30 they shoot me a text saying, hey, en route to Amazon. I shoot them back a thumbs up, they're good to go. Then I'll check my, But things sometimes is to see, especially if I have a new driver, like my seasoned driver that's been driving for me for a while, I don't really check on them too much. But I'll see, like, especially if I have a new driver, I'll look and see, like, okay, you got 30 minutes to check in. Then I'll be like, hey, how close are you to Amazon? And they'll be like, oh, I'm at the gate. I'm getting a guard check. I'm getting my badge or getting whatever. And that's fine. And they hang up. I watch them check in. Goes through the same exact thing the next night. So on a day-to-day basis, because I have one new driver right now, but all my drivers I've had for a while, I don't have to check up on them. So literally, I don't spend 30 minutes a day running this whole entire company. And 30 minutes is exaggerating. It's not really even 30 minutes. Like in some days, I might spend not even 5 days. And I don't even talk to my drivers on a day-to-day basis either. So we use text messages. What I did was, I don't know if you ever heard of the app called GroupMe, but if you decide to scale up or get more than one driver, you can get the app called GroupMe. It's free. Put all your drivers in there. Y'all all communicate with each other. You got something you say to one driver, you can say to all your drivers, like they joke, they talk, talk crap to each other. Hey man, this and that. Oh, you was late, or you was late to Amazon, blah, blah, blah. So they just have a whole bunch of, conversation, I guess, trucker talk, and which is fine. And if I have to say something, I can say something to them all at the same time. Or especially if a driver's taking off and I need somebody else to use that truck, we can communicate better through GroupMe, because we all in the GroupMe app, which is a good tool. So like I said, on a day-to-day basis, I don't spend more than 30 minutes a day running this whole entire company, and that's everything. And the reason why I do that is because, like I said, I use Poster Truck. Poster Truck frees up a lot of time from having to go looking, sitting at that load board. Like, in the videos when you have to see me looking at the load boards, I still was using Poster Truck. However, in those videos, let's say, for example, if a truck was in the shop. If a truck was in the shop and sometimes you don't get your truck back till like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock that night, then guess what? I'm not gonna set a Poster Truck for that night or that truck. Or if the driver was off, I'm not gonna set a Poster Truck. But then if I have a backup driver that say, hey, I can pick up that load tonight, then I'll physically start going looking at the load board, because if it's after hours, when I film most of my videos, it's kind of late. Then I'll be looking at the actual load board. But with that being said, that's the only time I really look at the load board. And right now, recently in the last month, I rarely look at the load board. I look at the load board just to post to Instagram for informational, purposes and stuff like that, to show people what kind of loads are out there, what's in their area, which I do a lot of on a weekly basis. I'll post loads, hot loads that I think is hot on the board. But other than that, like I said, I don't spend a lot of time, running the company. I do more time doing consultant work, talking to people, promoting my page, promoting my services. That's what I spend most of my day, what entails, the logistics aspect of it. Another question, let's move along. Another question is, can you start a logistics business if you're working a 9-to-5? Yeah, absolutely. Just like I stated, once you get up and running, get that learning curve out of the way, then you're not spending no time really running the company. The company is basically on autopilot. That's how my company is. If you follow me on Instagram, you see I like to travel. I go to Vegas, I go to Miami, going somewhere for New Year's. You can run this company from anywhere that you have a cell phone or Wi-Fi service from. You don't have to have no laptop. You don't have to be glued down. This is completely different from any other company, any logistics. And the reason why is Amazon made it so simple for you to do business with them. I never did over the road, but I've, speak to a whole bunch of people that's coming from over the road to come to Amazon. Some people hate Amazon. Some people love Amazon. I'm one of the people that love Amazon. So, but with that being said is Amazon made it where one person can control and run a whole company. Like, I don't have to submit no invoices to Amazon. Amazon pay me every Friday like clockwork. Or if you got the Poster Truck, they pay you the next day. So you don't have to worry about all of that paperwork. Once you get on with Amazon, it's smooth sailing. Especially now with the Poster Truck has that new feature that I think I posted about like 2 months ago about minimum stem time. And now you can select your driver when you're doing the Poster Truck. Man, that's crazy. I do my Poster Truck, put all my drivers on there, give them a minimum of stem time. Minimum stem time, if you don't know, is like basically like a head start. So when Amazon book your load, you're telling Amazon, hey, you book my load, I need an hour to get there. I need 30 minutes to get there. I need an hour and a half to get there. I need 2 hours to get there. The reason why so many people hated Poster Trucks, like I said in the previous video, is because you didn't know when your Poster Truck was gonna hit. And if it hit, it could be, they might give you 30 minutes to get there. You might stay an hour away. So it was killing people's score, killing them with rejection. So Amazon, fixed that problem, and I love it. I love Poster Truck. Even before they had it, I still was using it. But okay, that's another question. So yeah, you can work a 9 to 5 and still do this. I know plenty of people that's running their business right now that have a 9 to 5. Next one, how many trips can you do in a day? It depends up to you. Depends up to your driver. Depends if you want to look at the load board. You can, like, I've seen people do 2. I've seen people do 3 loads in a day. You can do 2 short ones, 3 short ones in a day. It just depends if you're the driver, if you want to sit back and watch and look for loads. Like, for example, the day I looked at the load board. It was a short load and another short load. But the thing about it is when you're doing those 2 loads, you have to make sure you give yourself time. Like, say, for example, in Atlanta, Georgia, if you take a route to Warner Robins, which is like an hour and a little bit and change. Let's say that route, I think that route left at, I want to say 10 o'clock. So if it leaves at 10 o'clock and it's going to take you till, let's say 11:30 to get there. 11:30, you unload, let's say by 12 or whatever time they get to the post office. At 12 o'clock, then you have to come back to Atlanta. So that's 12:30, almost, about 1:30. 1:30, you'll be back in Atlanta. So you could book another load probably about 2 o'clock. However, when I first started, I was doing some 2 loads per driver. However, that required me to wait and be like, okay, I'm on my way back. I'm like 30 minutes away. Then I would feel safe booking that load. I wouldn't book that load if that driver was still in Warner Robins. Anything can happen. Flat tire, wreck, weather, traffic, and then you end up with a rejection. So I would only do that if I knew that driver was really close back to Amazon or at Amazon. Then I would book that second load. So that's how you can do that. But me, I don't really do that too tough for the simple fact that that requires me to do more work, which, like I just stated, I want to be as hands-off as possible with running the company. I want to run it like a business. I don't want to run it like I'm actually physically working. So if I got 5 trucks and I got to do 2 loads a night, after each load is done from the one that hits from the postal truck, that means I have to physically go looking for 5 loads, and I don't really want to do that. Not that it can't be done. It can be done. I was doing it in the beginning. I know people that still do it. I just prefer not to do it. So it's up to you. You could do a long load or you could do a short load. And when I say long, I'm not talking long. I'm talking like 125 miles to like 210 miles, 220 probably max, not like 400, 500 miles. That's not what I'm talking about when I say a long ride. Let's see what another question is. Oh, that was the second question. How many trips you can do in a day? Do you need workman comps? With Amazon, I know they state that you need workman comp, but however, I don't have workman comp. Nobody I know has it. So the answer is no, you don't need workman's comp to get a contract with Amazon. It says, if you're doing Amazon, will you deadhead back? Well, yeah, majority of Amazon, I know for me in my area, is you're going to deadhead back with a lot of Amazon. However, if the price is right, you factor in that deadhead back into the loads you take it, and it should work out. It works for me. It should work for you. You know, it would be great to have a load coming back, but, you know, most stuff come to Atlanta, and then a lot of our routes leave from Atlanta, goes to Alabama, goes to North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida. So if you think about it, in Alabama, we're, bigger city. Why would they ship something to Alabama that needs to come back to Atlanta? Not that it don't happen, but it's just not as common. Mostly, things go to a bigger city, freight. So that's a question. So yeah, you will deadhead back. Like you're in the Midwest up north, and yeah, you can kind of finagle it a little bit more. What was another question? How long did it take for me to break even? I know in one of my videos, I think y'all probably saw that it took me, my company, I think I spent about $3,200 starting it out. And that included the LLC, the authority, down payment, insurance, which was just 1 month of insurance. I had some people say they had to pay $5,000, $6,000 for insurance. That's ridiculous. I had to pay one payment for my insurance, and that's the payment, going forward. And then the deposit on my rental truck, which is like $1,000. So I ended up spending like $3,200 to start my company. So the question is, how long did it take for me to break even? By my second week, I broke even. So I don't know what business that you can think of that you can start for under $5,000 and can break even by your second week. That's a good business. Most business you be in the red for a long time before you break even. So is there any number one question? I think I get this message 10, 20 times on a daily basis on Instagram. Are any good loads in my area? There's good loads in everybody's area. Yes, there's good loads in every area. And when I say good loads, I'm saying that if you have early access, there's good loads in Texas. There's good loads in Cali. There's good loads in New York. There's good loads in wherever you at. Wyoming. Like right now, I can look at the board and there's good loads pretty much everywhere. If you don't have early access, If you haven't done your 3 loads, then it ain't no good loads. Is crappy loads everywhere if you don't have early access, if that makes sense. But if you have early access, which means being on time to Amazon, not rejecting loads, using your app, and the other one, acceptance, then yeah, it's pretty good loads out there everywhere. So a lot of people DM me, is there any loads in my way? Like, should I start? Should I get started with Amazon? Is there any loads in my area? And the answer is, I always tell them, yeah, it's loads, it's good loads in your area. It's just that you are going to have to get early access, and then you'll find good loads. Even you might have to drive 30, 45 minutes, an hour to a neighboring, Amazon hub or whatever, but it's always good loads. So that's just like, why wouldn't you start a business because you're thinking it's not? Well, you see, I look at it like this. This is how the person I think I am. If John can do it, so can I. If John is making money, is it a good loads in my area? Let's say good loads wasn't in my area. Guess what? If John can do it, if John got good loads in the neighboring city, I'm gonna make it happen in the neighboring city. Nobody said that you have to physically drive the truck. You can put somebody in a truck in a whole nother state, whole nother city. You don't have to actually physically be in that city or that state. So that's another way you can look at it too. And you got to think about, you might not make as much as somebody else, but if you have a job, that becomes passive income. That's this money that you wasn't going to be making anyway. So it's passive. Everything is passive money, passive. That's my thing I like. That was another question. Are the glows in my area? Okay, another one. I think the second most question is, common question I get is, I can't find any rental trucks in my area. Okay, I get that on a day-to-day basis. Hey, I am not Santa Claus, so I can't just find you a truck. However, with that being said, there are trucks. There are trucks available. There's trucks. You got to think about a truck goes in the shop. Like I told you the other day, my truck broke down. They gave me another truck because most of these rental company places, they have to have a couple sub trucks, not a couple, a certain amount of truck allotted for sub trucks. So in case that truck break down, they can swap you out, put you in another truck. So my truck broke down, right? Truck is in the shop. Guess what happened once they fixed that truck? The truck is gonna go to somebody else. So when our truck's always breaking down, when a truck breaks down, it's going to somebody else. Is this a repetitive cycle? So there is ways to find trucks. One of the ways you can do it is, hey, create an account with everybody. There's a budget, there's enterprise, there's a whole bunch of different rental companies. Everybody's going for the same one or same two. You got to be creative. There's ways to find trucks. I've mentored and I've helped over 200 something people start a logistics company since I've been in the business, and a lot of them was able to find trucks. Yeah, some of them, if you pick up the phone and you call Ryder, Penske, whoever you call it, and say, here's the trucks. And they be like, the person, oh, no, we don't have any trucks. We won't have any trucks till January, February. And you hang up the phone, be like, ain't no trucks. Then you inbox me, hey, I can't find no trucks. They said it ain't going to be there till January, February. Okay, that's one person. My old boss told me, the only person that tell you no is somebody that can't tell you yes. And that's stuck in my head. So if you stop at the first no, you ain't going to never be successful. And that's with anything in life. If somebody tell you no, and you be like, oh, can't do it. You call another place, they don't have trucks. There's trucks. I'm driving trucks. I just picked up a truck last week. There are trucks. I had a guy, he's on my IG, his name's Cuddy. He probably watched this video. He came from Charlotte to find a truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, every day, you have to be creative. I know plenty of people that come from out of state. They even come to Atlanta to pick up trucks. So you can go to the neighboring state, the neighboring city. Another good thing you could do is build a relationship with your account manager at the rental company. Build a relationship. Speak to that person. Talk to that person. Just don't be like, hey, this is John. I'm trying to get a truck. And they're like, no. Do they have any trucks? Do you know when trucks will be available? Ask some questions. And another thing is, like I said, go find you a truck that might not have a lift gate. I've been doing this since January. Did well over probably like 1,400 loads now. And we only had to use the lift gate twice. So that's a chance I'll take. Some people ask me, can you do it with a 24-foot? I know people that get away with a 24-foot box truck. They're doing it. If your truck can fit 12 pallets, then yeah, you can get away with it. But I look at it like this. I don't know, like for example, the PlayStation 5 came out last year. You ain't never gonna walk into PlayStation in Target, Walmart, see a PlayStation, in the store, right? However, people are buying PlayStation. I got a PlayStation 5, right? Back there, PlayStation 5. If you want it bad enough, you'll find it. You can't start a whole business and stop with you can't find a truck. You can find a truck. You're just not looking hard enough to find a truck. That's just my personal thing. Anytime I want a truck, I find me a truck. I had another homeboy, I found him a truck. I find people truck, but that's not my business. I'm not in it to try to find people trucks. So you got to do your own homework to find a truck. If you want a truck, there's ways to find a truck. Another one is, I offer mentoring? No, I don't offer mentorship or anything like that. I'm a little just too busy for that. I tried it out, it didn't work, but I do offer enough services to get you from starting up to where you want to be at so you can be successful. So I don't have like, hey, you pay me $5,000 and you can call me every 10 minutes or 5 minutes and I'll walk you through the process. I have something better. It's cheaper. I have the starter pack. I got the 2-day training, which is a little different. I have a 2-day at Amazon facility training, which I'll train your driver at, not me physically, but my driver will train your driver at Amazon facility. It's 2 nights for those people that can't do the 3-day, ride along. Because, some people, that's a lot. They fly into town, they're tired, and they have to turn around and, do the training at Amazon, and then they do the ride along. They don't get no sleep. So that's been, some people was like, I like it, but it was just too long. So therefore, if you don't want to do the 3-day training, ride along, I offer a 2-day training ride along for $250. And that's 2 nights at Amazon. It trains you, shows you everything, how to load your truck, all of that good stuff. And I also still offer the 3-day training. I also offer my starter pack step-by-step blueprint guide that'll walk you through the process for everybody that's new, a beginner who don't know what they're doing, like me, who I didn't know. It will literally, it's not a course, it's a guide. It's step-by-step, just like ABCD3. You know what I'm saying? You do those things and it's the same exact steps I took. You will have success if you put your head to it and you learn the game. So with that being said, I offer a starter pack step-by-step guide, a 2-day training at Amazon, facility only. Then I offer the 3-day ride along. Then I also do 30 and 60-minute phone consultation. All of these things, you go to boxtruckshorty.com or you can go to my link tree. You can look in the description below and you can book those things. So no, I don't offer a mentorship, but you get me as a mentor as long as you're paying me. And I'm not that expensive, not yet. Just joking with y'all. All right, so what else? And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Like I said, it's peak season. This is what we all been waiting for. You can make a ton of money right now. And is it too late to get in? No, I don't think it's too late to get in. You still have time to get in and make some decent money. And guess what? Let's say you missed peak season. Hey, I started off peak season. I started in the end of January, and look, I'm still here. And I grossed over 600 grand since I've been with Amazon and still going. I'm still chasing that M. But like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm more active on I'm more active on Instagram. Don't forget to go join my Facebook private page. Send me a request. I'll let you in the group. And that's it. As my slogan says, I'll see y'all at the top. Out. Bye.